Lyle did everything for me. It not only gave me the technical expertise that I needed. Sometimes I get asked questions about things, or I get put into positions where I don't really understand everything associated with that particular task. But I have the foundation that I need to solve the problems that come across my desk and come towards me because of the education that I got from Lyle. My name is Courtney Kelly. I'm an author and civil engineer specializing in construction project management. I graduated from Lyle in 2012 with my undergrad and in 2013 with my graduate degree.
Would you mind talking about what inspired you to go into civil engineering?
Civil engineering kind of wasn't even on my radar until Hurricane Katrina happened. The storm hit when I was a sophomore in high school. My family evacuated, and I just remember talking to my parents like, hey, why are we having to evacuate? Why is the city having to uproot itself to get away from the storm? Could there have been preventative measures in place or something to mitigate the risk for the citizens in the community? And after that, they put me in a bunch of STEM camps. So I did 3 different camps at 3 colleges and universities across the country, and civil engineering really stuck with me. I said, okay, if I can figure out civil engineering, maybe there's something there, a little nugget that will help me to be able to go back and help the city of New Orleans one day. And the rest is history.
What made you want to write a book about it?
Yeah, so Let's Save the City is the culmination of a couple of things. One, this need to increase the pipeline of kids that know what civil engineering is and see civil engineering as a viable option as a career choice for them. When you go up to a kid, I doubt that many of them will say, oh, I want to be a civil engineer when I grow up. But through my book, Let's Save the City, kids are exposed to this terminology, to the definition of who civil engineers are, what they do, and how they help our community. So through that, hopefully one day when they get ready to decide on their careers, civil engineering will be an option. In addition to that, just to change the landscape of the diversity, equity, and inclusion within the construction industry. A lot of people don't look like me that do the things that I do. So through Celeste, kids are able to see like, okay, I can do this too, and I can be a civil engineer and I can work in construction, and it's a place for me where I can belong. So this is my book, Celeste Saves the City. And the reason why I created this book is because I wanted to make sure that kids, as they're growing up, they understand what civil engineering is all about, who is a civil engineer, what they do, and how they help our communities. To extend this whole pipeline into the workforce and to change the landscape of those who see themselves as belonging within a career like civil engineering or construction management. A lot of kids, if you ask them, what do I want to be when I grow up? Civil engineering isn't at the top of their list. But now kids, when they read the book, they're like, oh, I want to be like Celeste. I'm like, all right, just stick with that, and one day you'll be like Celeste.
What advice would you give to the next generation of women and or minority engineers going into this similar field?
I would say try to stick with it as long as you can. I think back to when I was in college and how many women were in the classrooms with me, and about 50% of those women no longer work within the engineering profession. Find mentors, find someone that you can look up to, because there are people paving the way for you, and try to follow in their footsteps and stand on their shoulders, and just be the change that you want to see in the world. Chair of what's called Voice. It's the voice of inclusion, community, and engagement for McCarthy's Dallas office. And there's a different voice chair at each of our offices, 18 offices across the country. And the whole point of Voice is to inclusive leadership. There's different aspects of safety, quality, dealing with the owner, with different trade partners, vendors. There's a lot to construction. And in our industry, there's also a shortage of labor, right? A shortage of skilled labor. So what you hit on is this idea of being genuine, but then also being authentic. Yeah. Right? We want to be both as much as we can, right? So not saying things that you don't mean.